Who is ready for Book 9, A Bug's Life? What a Team. Here is Ada looking at a map, and there is her little sister, Dot. This looks very interesting. Princess Ada was trying to study her history lesson, but her little sister Dot kept pestering her. "Aren't you done with that boring old stuff yet?" Dot asked. "Please stop bugging me," Dot Ada begged. "I have lots more to learn before I can be queen of the anthill." Just then, Flick appeared at the door. "Flick!" Dot shouted happily. "I'm so glad you're here. You know how to have fun. Not like some big sisters I know." "I don't have time for fun," Ada sighed. "Everyone has time for fun," said Flick as he turned a squealing Dot upside down. "Oh, she is having fun. Does anybody else like that? Because I do not." "Actually, I came to see if you two feel like hearing a story," Flick explained. Ada was tempted. Flick was famous for his stories, full of daring deeds and happy endings. And by the way, I am a good storyteller too. I actually have a story of the invention of the strawberry that is just loved. Anyway, but those were fairy tales and this was real life, and Ada had a lot of work to do. You can just see the irritation on her face. Dot wants to play, and Ada needs to study. I know how that feels. "I'm sorry, Flick," Ada said, but I just don't have time. "And I don't feel like listening to a story tonight," Dot said. "Let's play make-believe instead." "Oh, no, you don't," Ada said firmly. "It's getting late." "You never want to do anything fun, Dot complained. "All you want to do is read about the ants that used to live in that spooky old anthill." "You mean the one on the other side of the ant island?" Flick asked. "Yes," replied Ada. "There's a lot we can learn about how ants used to live." And Ada is correct. If you learn about the past, it can help you with the present and help you with the future. So, Flick asked a very good question, and Ada is very smart. You should always read about the past. History is important. Flick began to look through the leaf scrolls piled on Ada's desk. "Look at this," he said suddenly. "What is it?" Dot asked. "It's a map showing how to get to that old anthill," said Flick. Dot looked at the mysterious markings on the map. Suddenly, Ada's studies didn't seem so boring anymore. "May we go there? May we? Please, please, please," Dot begged, jumping up and down with excitement. "Well, that map looks pretty impressive. It's got oranges and yellow and purple and blue. And it can tell you north, south, east, and west. Oh, and it tells you that when you're there with a little person or an ant on top. It's a pretty good map." "I don't think we should," Ada said firmly. "Who knows what we might find?" "But that's what's so great," Dot said. "It'll be like a big surprise." "Besides, we can't learn everything from a book," added Flick. "Some things you have to go and find out for yourself." "All right," Ada finally agreed. "Let's go tomorrow." Yay! Field trip. Early the next morning, with the sun barely up, Dot shook her sister Ada awake. "Let's go," she said excitedly. "This is going to be an adventure." "That's what I'm afraid of," muttered Ada as she got out of bed. When Dot and Ada met Flick a little while later, Ada was wearing a backpack. "What's all that stuff?" Flick asked. Supplies, Ada said. I like to be prepared. That is a smart ant. That's always a very good idea. Ada pulled out a map and started leading the others down a trail. But after a few hours, the ants were completely lost. How about this way? Asked Flick. They were looking a little worn out. Ada was completely frustrated. Nothing is where the map said it would be, she said. Said Flick. Why don't you two wait here while I go ahead and see if I can spot the old ant hill? I'll be right back. Wait, cried Ada, but Flick was already gone. Dot and Ada waited and waited, but Flick didn't come back. The sisters began to worry. Oh, this is terrible, Ada cried. We'll have to go find Flick, Dot said, climbing a nearby plant to get a better view. Dot, said Ada, come down from there while I figure out what to do. It looks like she climbed all the way to the top of it. I see the old ant hill, Dot shouted from above, but we don't know whether Flick went that way, Ada called up to her. If we just wait here, maybe Flick will find us again. We've waited long enough, Dot said, sliding down the plant. Flick could be in trouble. Dot headed off in the direction of the old ant hill, and Ada had to hurry to catch up. The sisters soon found themselves in a thick jungle of plants. Ada got whacked by weeds, and her antenna kept getting tangled up. Before long, Ada was hot and messy and angry. So, Dot, is this little adventure still your idea of fun? She asked. Just then, the girls heard Flick calling from what sounded like a long way away. We're coming, Flick! Dot shouted, running toward his voice. Be careful, Dot, Ada called after her, but it was too late. Dot had run right through a puddle of gooey sap. Ooh, that does look gooey. That looks very gooey. Poor Dot. As Ada helped Dot clean her feet, Dot looked up at her big sister. Thanks, Dot said. I suppose I should slow down and watch where I'm going. Ooh, that's a big flower. The sisters started on their way again. Suddenly, Dot heard a loud rustling overhead. She looked up and saw a bee knock a chunk of pollen over the side of a flower. Well, there's the flower. Oh, there's the chunk of pollen. Look out, Dot shouted. She pushed Ada out of the way just as the pollen thumped to the ground. Thanks, sis, Ada said. Your quick thinking saved me. Flick's shouts were louder and closer now, and the girls soon found him. He had slipped into a canyon, and he was stuck there just out of reach. Dot started to scramble down toward Flick. Whoa, Ada said, holding on to Dot from behind. If you go down there, we'll have 2 ants in trouble instead of 1. What else can we do? Dot asked. Ada thought for a minute. Maybe we can make a rope from that plant over there, she suggested, pointing to a flower. Yeah, exclaimed Dot. That's a super plan, Ada. So Ada and Dot collected the stringy pieces and tied them. Then together they hauled Flick up. He must be on the next page. Let's see what they made. They made a rope that he could climb up. Let's see if they got him. Yep, they did. Later, the three ants finally found the old ant hill. Wow, look at that, exclaimed Flick. Why don't you two wait over here while I go ahead and make sure it's safe? But Dot stopped him. Wait, Flick. Let's stick together and make a plan first, she said, and winked at Ada. Ada smiled at Dot. That way we can look out for one another, she added. Well, that sounds like a much better plan. Stick together. There is safety in numbers. Oh, Dot has a very pretty smile. That's a nice picture of her. Huh? Flick said. Let's just say that today I learned that my little sister is a quick thinker, Ada said proudly. And my big sister is a good planner, added Dot. Well, said Flick, you two make quite a team. Ada and Dot beamed. They couldn't agree more. Dear Blueberry Journal, it used to drive me crazy that Ada was always doing boring stuff like studying. But now I see that she has to do that. It's her special job. See, all the ants in the colony have jobs they do to help keep the rest of us healthy and happy. Some ants take care of the itty-bitty little newborns in the nursery. They're so cute. Some gather food or work on the nest. And Ada, well, someday Ada is going to be queen. I asked my mom what my special job is. She said for now, my job is just growing up. Till next time, Dot. The end. I hope that you liked that book. I think it was very cute. I think they worked well together. It's always good to study history so you know your past, and it's even better to have a plan and to save your friends. Your friends will definitely appreciate that. They do, really.